Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, "No thanks, not my thing."
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dean Brouder. I'm the Drug and Alcohol Resource Coordinator for Methuen Public Schools, and this is our third show of the year in the month of December. My guest today is Evelyn Rodriguez, and she's going to, I'm very happy to see you today, Evelyn. Welcome to Methuen High School again. And why don't we start off this show and tell us a little bit about who you represent and some of your experience coming here.
So thank you very much for having me, Dean. As you already know, I've been to high school here, so it honors me to be here once again. I am working with the Lawrence Methuen Community Coalition under the Fiscal Agent Family Services of Merrimack Valley. We have a substance abuse prevention task force, and through that we have been granted what is called the Substance Abuse Prevention Collaborative Grant, which I am the coordinator of, and that is pretty much primarily based on the prevention of underage drinking along with other substance use. We also have the MOPSI grant, which is the Merrimack Valley Opioid Addiction Prevention Collaborative, and we have the Drug Free Communities grant, the DFC grant as well. I am here representing the SAPC Collaborative grant, which is the grant that is allowing us to collaborate efforts and to do and bring great prevention efforts to Methuen Public Schools.
I am so excited. We've been doing this officially for the last 6 years, and since we've developed this collaboration with you guys, I'm seeing so much growth. I'm seeing so many opportunities for you to be able to support us in bringing different people and different programs to Methuen Public Schools, and I know that we're part of the Merrimack Valley, and you'll be helping other school systems as well, but I can't thank you enough. And how ironic that many years after having you as a student in my class, that you are now here and we're working together, teacher to teacher, student to teacher, whatever. And so that makes me so excited. I'm very proud of you and how far you've come, and I can't thank you enough for being here today. With that being said, why don't you talk a little bit about our first collaboration with the sticker campaign that's coming up soon.
So we are hoping to have a sticker shock campaign, which is a part of the Substance Abuse Prevention Collaborative Grant pilot strategy. We will be visiting at least 5 local businesses, and we will be stickering or adhering stickers to any boxed item, which will include beers, wines, any boxed wines, wine coolers, and we would adhere these stickers, which will not only mention our program and program contact number, so that if anyone needs any resources or any assistance finding a bed or finding any other resources for youth, which a lot of parents seem to find it difficult and a hard time finding locations to send their kids for help and any type of rehabilitation services for them. We will also be mentioning the fact that the SAD group members here of Methuen High will be a collaborating participant with us on that day. This is a evidence-based practice through the Bureau of Substance Abuse Services. This is supposed to not only, one, send a clear and concise message across the board that it is absolutely illegal to purchase any alcoholic beverage for a minor, and hoping that this will alert those individuals and show our community that we are out here, and these prevention efforts are and will be seen a lot more.
Yeah, that's wonderful. You know, with the opiate epidemic, people have forgotten that the drug of choice for young people still remains to be alcohol. And so the fact that, you know, you're focusing on that, I think is crucial. The fact that you're going to be able to supply a bus for the Students Against Destructive Decisions group with Ms. Rubino, and then target different area establishments to promote the message of prevention and underage drinking, I think is crucial, because it's definitely been pushed to the side with the total focus on the opiate thing. So I'm very excited about that. How about Chucky's Fight?
Moving forward with Chucky's Fight, I just want to touch base on what you just said. You hit the nail on the bullseye, and you're absolutely correct. With the opioid epidemic in our state, nationwide, actually, prevention has been put to the side. And I just want to reiterate how imperative prevention is to this piece. We are now seeing a lot of reaction being done, but our prevention piece is that proactive piece that hopefully our goal is to prevent this reaction from being necessary.
Right.
You know, we're now moving towards a stigma-free state thanks to the governor's new campaign, and I look forward to seeing that become more evident across the board, whether it's in emergency rooms, recovery centers, anywhere anyone goes for help. Please provide them that help with open arms, because they don't need any more shame put on to them. Now moving forward with Chucky's Fight, it's been my great pleasure to submit to our accounts office that we will be helping logistically support the entire event for the 2 days. We are excited to be a part of it. I can't wait to see the kids when they receive their dog tags and pledge to stay drug-free, and just wear such an honorable representation of their pledge.
Yeah, a tangible symbol. Chuck Rose, he's an old friend of mine. We go back to the beach, and for him, he was on our show. He's been on, I think he's going to be on Phil Leahy's show also. The fact that he lost both sons to heroin addiction, accidental overdose within a 15-month period. He's going to be coming here. Mr. Osgood coordinated it for all the health classes. So I think it's January 12th and 13th. He will be addressing all of the health classes for those 2-day period to share his experience, strength, and hope. And for any of the high school students who agree to remain drug-free, he'll give them a dog tag. That would not be possible without our collaboration with you people. Can you explain your coalition in more detail? Because that's why I want you to come here to share with the Methuen community what's it all about. You explained that there are 3 different grants, but share a little more about what it's like to get all the data and evidence-based. What does that mean? And it's a process, and it's not as easy as just writing a check.
So it is a long and extensive process. Our Substance Abuse Prevention Task Force consists of key representatives from all 5 communities that we are currently working with. Those communities consist of Lawrence, Methuen, Haverhill, Andover, and North Andover. We have representation from EMS, EMTs, the police departments, schools, and local community resources such as the Psychological Center, for example, the Recovery Center in Essex Street, Spectrum is another one. We have people like Megan Shea and Kim Boiselle that are part of the Haverhill Hope Task Force. We have Representative DeZoglio, who's a big participant
Oh my God, yes.
of our grants, our collaborative efforts, and a big part of what's happening here in Methuen with Chris Herron coming in the near future.
So I don't mean to interrupt, but Chris Herron, we've tried to get him for many years. Can you please talk about that a little bit?
So a big shout out to Representative Desiree
Absolutely.
for helping us out with this and providing an earmark grant to provide such a big effort and event to Methuen Public Schools. Chris Herron has been quite a challenge to get, but along with my back and forth in our persistence over at our offices, we have been told that we are going to be given a date as of next month, an official date for either May or June, and he will be visiting Methuen Public Schools.
Yeah, he has a powerful, powerful story. He'll be coming here. I know Mr. Barton is very excited to have him because he knows him personally. And that will be the one opportunity that we'll be able to get at least 2,000, if not more, students all in there and to listen to his extremely powerful message. He does a lot of great work. I know he's extremely hard to get because he doesn't just deal with schools, he's dealing with
the entire community, all public, all around, across the board.
Yeah.
And he does have a powerful message, and I would love to see more parents become involved in listening to these stories, because a lot of them consist of their parents being blinded by their actions. And a lot of our prevention education efforts will consist of doing little skits where parents could come see signs that they see in their child's bedroom, but kind of overlook because they're not thinking it's what it is, or it's possible that it could be utilized for this or the other. We'll be doing a lot more prevention efforts. We're looking at other people that may come down to our communities and do skits such as these that would represent different key events in people's lives and how they
react and respond.
With that being said, a lot of our data that we're collecting with this long and intensive process, the reason it is so long and extensive is because they want qualitative data.
Sure.
They want data that is accurate and evidence-based on all 5 communities. So trying to get the YRBSs for all 5 communities, trying to get parent focus groups done in all 5 communities, trying to get the mayors to respond to a key stakeholder interview in all 5 communities, or at least 2 out of the 5. Trying to get data on underage drinking and driving, on alcohol poisoning in college campuses, outside of college campuses, elementary schools. We're trying to get all this data to now come to a consensus as a group to figure out better ways to target these kids.
Sure.
And come to a collective decision where we can find one uniform way for all 5 communities to work on.
Absolutely, so we don't have to recreate the wheel. We're meeting, before our meeting this Wednesday, the substance abuse counselor at Haverhill High has invited the local counselors and people in my position to go to Haverhill High early in the morning and just to find out what is each school doing, so that we don't have to, if we're a little further along in the model, we can help them, they can help us, and just sharing that information. And like we had spoken earlier, about having all these coalitions, it's powerful, they're all coming up in all these different communities. How do we all bring them together so that we all come together as one voice with one effective program, or a series of programs, depending on the unique needs of the community? It's a challenge.
It is.
It's a challenge.
We have our main task force meetings every second Wednesday of the month. Then I try to attend the Hope Task Force meeting, which is in Haverhill, the Methuen Task Force meeting in Methuen, then I go to Andover for their task force meeting, and then I go to North Andover for their task force meeting. Now, one representative of each task force comes to our task force meeting, so that anything that's dispensed there, any information, anything moving forward, should be taken back to their table.
Sure.
Now, I attend their task force meeting so that if they need anything of me that wasn't mentioned at our meeting, if they need, whether it's logistical support, whether it's information, whether it's resources that I can provide them with, then that will be mentioned there. And moving forward, we come back to the table, and then let's say it's an event such as yourself. You represented us with Chucky's Fight.
Right.
Methuen Public Schools has also made it adamant that they were very interested in Chris Herring.
Sure.
We were able to push that along. Now, if Haverhill wants us to do, let's say, a big community event, we can provide them with logistical support there. If North Andover wants to do a big health assembly, we can provide them with
Sure.
logistical support there. It all depends on the community's need
Right.
and what they're looking for and what they have or haven't done already.
Right.
Because the one thing that we've seen with youth, they don't like repetition.
No, they
And
don't.
they don't like when things are redundant to them.
You're right.
Because once it gets to that redundancy, they block it out.
They sure do. They sure
It's
do.
just like when
Yeah.
we're nagging about
Yeah,
something at all.
absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
they block us out. So we need to keep it fresh.
Yeah.
We need to keep it to their level.
You're right.
And a lot of our ideas now are going to be all brought forward by youth themselves.
That's where it has to come from. Yeah, absolutely. We're going to be finishing up soon, and again, I want to thank you for coming. But you mentioned something, and I know we've been talking about this for years. Actually, is the parents. You know, the challenge of getting parents involved in this. It's been a challenge. It remains a challenge. Mr. Osgood is having an opiate awareness meeting or mini assembly tomorrow night here at Methuen High, December 8th at 6 o'clock. And he's invited all the coaches and all the coaches' students and parents to come to the Warburg film.
If only.
If only.
Amazing documentary.
Yeah.
Documentary. I've
Yeah.
seen it maybe 5 times. I cry every single time.
Yeah. And we'll see, you know, the invite has gone out, and again, you know, we're hoping that there'll be many parents, but you just can't force parents to get involved in a situation like this. I think, believe it or not, with that stigma piece, unless that's addressed, I think it's because alcoholism, drug addiction is shame-based. They feel so badly about it, they don't want to talk. They still don't want to make it public. I think it's improved, but it has a long way to go, and hopefully by our having these events and having these opportunities for parents to get aware, become more aware of, we'll get better turnouts.
The word shame is one word
Yeah.
I hear way too often
Yeah.
in this field.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you one thing, shame is not a barrier
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah.
It's not a barrier.
Yeah.
There is no barrier anymore.
Yeah.
It's hitting us across the
That's
board.
right.
It's hitting the suburbs. It doesn't care about socioeconomic status. It doesn't
That's right.
care that if this is your child, let's not
No.
touch your
Yeah.
child. It doesn't care that you're an elected official or a non-elected official.
Right.
It doesn't care that you're a constituent or, just someone visiting.
Right.
Our state, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. It's going to target your family or a close individual's family sooner than later. So let's educate our kids now.
Yep.
Let's talk to our kids now. SAMHSA has great PSAs out there. I currently have an ad going out to the Showcase Cinema starting the 26th of
Oh,
November.
wonderful.
And running through New Year's week, the first week of New Year's.
Okay.
This is an ad that's telling parents, talk to your kids as early as 9 years old
Sure.
about the issue of alcohol. There's a lot of peer pressure out there.
Yeah.
And I can only tell you, friends that ask you to drink are not your friends at all. If they don't take no and understand no for an answer, those are not your friends.
Right.
Move on, move forward. You'll find real friends that will
Support.
defend
Yeah.
and support your decision not to drink.
That's good.
I have it there. Methuen Cable Television has granted me the honor of allowing me to publicize it on their
Great.
network as well.
Yeah.
So we'll be in Methuen
Maybe we can do it here too.
Public Television.
Yeah,
it
that's
would be
good.
great. I can forward it to you as well.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get Lawrence and Andover on board as well so
Why
that
not?
we can send the message out there that it's okay to start talking to your kids and it's
Sure.
okay to open up those doors of communication, because if your child cannot come to you or at least have one adult that they can come to, we're going to lose them.
They will go elsewhere.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts, Evelyn? Thanks again for coming. I can't thank you enough. I can't tell you how proud I am of you. You
Thank
really
you.
are shining. And thanks so much for your initial support of Methuen Public Schools.
Thank
Any
you.
final words? Anything you
My
want?
final words are just a message out to parents. Let's get together. Let's power up. It takes a village to help our kids shine and have a productive future. So let's do this all together. Let's get educated together. I still every day learn new data and new things that shock me. And it's a disconcerting fact that I understand there's a lot of single moms out there working 2 and 3 jobs, but take 1 hour of your day and spend that with your child and talk to your child. There's a lot of single dads out there. Do the same. When you go out to your child's basketball game or your child's softball game, take time to talk to that coach. Reach out to your coach and say, hey, I have a little worry about my child. Can you observe them and see if you're on the same page? Then go back to your child's pediatrician. Talk to them. If you can't talk to your child, there's other ways of reaching your child. Do it. Don't give up. They're our future. Let's make it brighter for them.
Well, thank you, Evelyn. Well, thank you, everyone. Again, hopefully you'll be seeing this in the next couple of weeks, and that will be all for our show today. And if you do have any questions or concerns, you can contact me at 978-273-4812. And Jameson, make sure you listen to Evelyn. Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Can I go to the sleepover?
Lucy, I want you to promise me something. If there's any drinking, I want you to say, no thanks, not my thing.
Mom.
I promise you, your real friends won't care. Deal?
I promise, Mom.
They really do hear you.
Did you pack your toothbrush?
For tips on how to start the talk, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov. A public service message from the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration.